Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Max Beaumont. I am a startup founder and college student living in Silicon Valley, California. And today is an episode of my life. And before I get into everything, I just want to say I'm in the library right now. So if I'm a little quiet or a little weird, that is why. I think everyone is looking at me and can probably hear me. So I'm going to be a little bit quieter. Today was a really long day. I think I might have failed one of my classes. The day started off this morning with me getting up, making breakfast, and proceeding to do all 5 of my habits. I meditated.
And now gradually become aware of the process of breathing. Notice where you feel the breath most distinctly.
When I meditate, the concept of being present comes up a lot, of actually really being present in this particular moment because it's the only moment that we are promised. I was having a call with my friend Miles Carter, and we were talking about a similar thing, that the only thing we are promised is today, and we have to live every single moment out like it is our last.
It's okay to think about the past because it has made you who you are. It's okay to think about the future, because it is where you're going. But neither of those exist. The only thing that exists, the only thing that is tangible is now. So yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I made a post about it on my Instagram.
Yeah, it's so true. It's like, I don't know exactly where I heard this from, but it's like the only moment you're promised is the present. We have no idea how much time we have. I have no idea if this is the last time we're ever going to speak to each other. As a result of that, you have to think about living each moment a little bit more compassionately, be a little bit more empathetic, a little bit more patient, a little bit more vulnerable, because I have no idea if this or any interaction I have with someone I love is going to be the very last interaction I ever have with them.
When I was doing all of my habits this morning, I just couldn't help but think how far I had come since I'd first started doing my habit. I mean, 6 months ago, I wasn't working out, I wasn't meditating, I wasn't journaling, I wasn't making my bed, I wasn't doing any of these things that have ultimately changed my life dramatically in the past 6 months. And tomorrow is day 200 of doing all of those things almost every single day. And I can totally feel how different my life is as a result. I mean, my life is just dramatically different since starting these new habits, and I can't imagine where I'll be in 6 months from now. One of the habits that I have, and I do it every other day, is a thinking session for just 30 minutes where all I do is take a pen and a paper and write anything that comes to me on some sort of specific topic, and I just think about it for 30 minutes. And today was documentation, the concept of documentation. And for me, in my own mind, it is the idea that instead of creating content, instead of sitting here and producing something, I am just simply documenting what's actually happening in my day. One of the things that I thought a lot about today when I was doing my thinking session in particular was how much I really wanted a partner for content, someone to help me with the strategy of coming up with new ideas for videos, someone to help me with trying to figure out how to best tell the story of what I'm doing. I mean, there's so many things that I don't think I really understand about social media and about content that if I had a co-founder who's helping me on just that in particular, could enable me to do so much more with the X School every day. I mean, I'm spending hours each day working on editing videos with my partner Dale, with trying to film, and so much of that is taking time away from what's really important, which is the X School. So today what I was really trying to think more about was what does a partner with content look like, and what could they do, and how could I find someone like that? I'm reading this great book that I just can't put down right now. It's called Thirst by a guy named Scott Harrison, and it details the founding of his company, Charity Water. And Charity Water, for those of you who do not know, gives millions of people access to clean water. And 100% of whatever is donated to Charity Water actually goes to the field. It doesn't go to paying salaries, doesn't go to anything else other than actually giving clean water to the people who need it most. I mean, he started off as a nightclub promoter in New York City, and then 10 years later kind of made this dramatic shift into philanthropy and completely changed his entire life. It's something that I've wanted to do a lot more of, but just haven't really understood or figured out exactly how. And the result of it is kind of what you're seeing now, and I think it'll kind of further develop, but it's really kind of filming everything that happens in my day, and then at the end of it, trying to recap it and make it into a story. So that's kind of the most interesting way I've thought about documentation, is if I actually just record everything that happens in my life and then tell you about it at the end of it, I think I can present that in a way that is actually engaging, that makes you excited to watch, that makes you feel like a part of my day, which is ultimately what this is all about. I wanted to start this YouTube channel to document the life of a startup founder and a college student on the first day of their career, not the last, not when they're already successful, when you're seeing a finished product. I wanted to show you what it's like throughout the entire process of this journey. I wanted to show you the struggles day in and day out, the unfilteredness. I want to show you me cursing, me crying, me trying to figure out how to build a company from nothing. One thing that I thought about a lot today is just kind of how lonely this process is to start. I mean, it's no wonder why there aren't more people who are successful in starting companies. I think it's very, very hard, particularly when you're going at something like this alone, because there's no support. I mean, nearly every single day right now, I'm doing everything that I'm doing alone. I'm making content in my apartment alone. I am working alone. I'm starting a company alone. I'm doing my schoolwork alone. And that's a huge reason for why I'm trying to start the X School, is because I think so many people who are trying to do unconventional things, whether it's starting a YouTube channel or trying to pursue acting or trying to pursue music or trying to pursue their own company, I think so many people who are doing these things are doing it alone and they don't have a like-minded community. And with the X School, a core part of what I want to do is give people that community, be able to say, hey, here are 5 other people who are doing things just like you that you can rely upon for friendship, for communication, for just having interesting dialogues. Because I know firsthand how hard it is to start something like this alone, to work on something day in and day out for hours on end without having anybody there with you to motivate you to keep going. And I hope as a result of that community, as a result of being around people like this, that we actually have more people that kind of stay in it and that succeed because they have a community, they have a sense of purpose, they're around people that are like them.